Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jason, and today I'm going to do a demo of recording a song using Garageband on an iOS device. So in this case, I'm going to be recording it on my iPhone, which means I'm probably going to be insane by the end of this video with how small the screen is. But this is just going to be a live one-take capture of recording on a mobile device. And every week, maybe every couple of weeks, I'm going to take the most common comments that I've got on my channel for anything home recording related, because I'm going to be starting to do some other videos on recording acoustic drums at home or with my Lisa Strike Pro kit as well, recording full songs. So all of the songs that my band has released were recorded right here in this room. So there's a vocal booth behind the curtain there. I've got my electronic drum set out there, and now the second full EP that we did actually used an acoustic set there. So I'm going to be adding a bunch of those, and what I'm going to do for this video, let's get this iPhone going. So the video that's being captured here is just from the webcam that's on my computer, because I normally use my iPhone for this stuff, but I'm actually going to record with GarageBand on here. So let's get this thing recording. So first thing, what you're going to need is you're going to need a lightning cable, obviously, so a USB-B to lightning connector to hook up your iOS device. If you are recording with GarageBand, it does require iOS 13 or higher. So if you will need an iPad Air 2nd generation or newer, and you're going to need a regular iPad generation 3 or higher. So if you've got one of my iPads that I have, it is a generation 1 iPad Air. So I actually can't update iOS, so I can't run GarageBand on it, which is why I'm doing it on the iPhone here. I do have the Spark app running on the same device as well, and it doesn't seem to conflict with anything, so it's connected through Bluetooth. And one thing I learned from a comment from a previous video is there are actually two Bluetooth connections on the Spark amp. One is for audio, if you're using it as a Bluetooth speaker, and the other is the Spark 40 connection, so you can use the app with the actual amp. So let's get right into this, and let's add a new song. I'm going to add the drummer here, and let me set this to the tempo of one of our songs, 140. Probably an easier way to do this by just tapping. Okay, so that's done. So one thing to consider when you're looking at the actual size of the recordings with GarageBand is the loop features. It's not going to take up twice as much space because it's basically just referencing the same file. So if I have this 8 bars set up for drums, if I just duplicate all of these a bunch of times, the file isn't going to be a whole lot bigger. If you are planning on recording full songs with this and you're going to play all the way through, like all good musicians do, right? Then yeah, it's obviously going to take up a little bit more space. But I'm guessing it's not going to be over a few hundred megs. So I'm just going to put, that should be good enough for here. So whatever version of GarageBand you're using, whether it's on iOS or iPad, you can switch between whatever bars are active by hitting the little plus sign up here. And then you can switch to sections, or you can pick all sections. So just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to pick all sections and hit done. So now I see everything on here, and now I'm going to add the guitar track. So hit the plus sign. Let me switch over to instrument. So you can see it says USB channel on the screen there. I have monitoring turned off. If I turn monitoring on, you're going to hear some weird little chorusy stuff. So that's the latency kicking in right there. So it sounds normal there. A couple of things if you are recording this. Number one, the music volume button is controlling the output from whatever audio is coming out of your mobile device. And so the way that I like to record, if I'm just using this to practice some songs or create some songs, I leave monitoring off, have headphones in, And then the output volume knob, if you turn that up, you're going to hear your guitar directly out of the Spark amp, and you're going to hear directly out of your mobile device based on the volume that you've got set for the music volume. So I always have monitoring off because I have noticed that the latency is pretty bad. And the other thing with GarageBand on iOS, there's no options for setting sample size. So there's really not a lot you can do to deal with that latency. So let's just give this a shot and see what the heck happens here. All right, that worked out pretty well. Okay, so track is done. Let's just go and see what the size of the file is. iOS. So 22 megabytes. So basically a full rhythm guitar track, 22 megabytes. So multiply that by the number of tracks you have and boom. So I would imagine you'd be able to do a full song, you know, if you were doing a simple song, maybe with 2 guitars and a bass, vocals, if you were going to sing into the phone, if you really wanted to, a couple of hundred mega space, probably tops. So a couple of things just to wrap up this video. Again, this is just live off the cuff. I'm not really going to do any editing other than obviously speeding through the stuff that you just watched. And that's a reminder, so I remember to actually speed through that when I do the editing in a second. So lightning cable to plug it in. To deal with the latency problems, turn monitoring off inside of GarageBand, turn your output volume on your Spark up so you're going to hear yourself playing directly through it, and then use the music volume knob to adjust the sound that's coming out of the DAW. Size, latency, monitoring, those were 3 of the main questions that happened. So I guess just my final thoughts for recording with this. I use GarageBand on the iPad Pro for songwriting and ideas. So the Spark does have the ability to say with the voice command play drums, and it's going to pop up Dave or Sharon. You play 8 bars and then it's going to show that chord progression that you've done, and then you can go play along with it if you're practicing some parts. I've had the Spark for just over a month. I never use that feature. I only use the backing tracks if I just want to practice something quickly. But if I want to do anything with ideas or my own song, I'll use GarageBand because GarageBand is so easy to do this with. I mean, you can just pick piano, an automatic guitar track, you can pick a chord progression, you can record it quickly, and you can actually drag and drop and move sections around if you're working on arrangement and stuff. So that's probably the case that I would use this for. I'm not sure I would use it for recording a full song. I would use it when an idea pops into your head because we've always got our phones with us. So as long as you have the phone and the Spark nearby, boom, you can plug it in very quickly and just very quickly capture a bunch of ideas. So leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about this video. I'm going to try to do a few more live ones like this just off the cuff based on the comments that are coming in from the channel. And that's going to be everything with home recording. So I've been home recording for about 2 years now, I guess. 2 of our EPs were recorded right here in this room, so there's a vocal booth behind the curtain there. My Elisa Strike Pro electronic drums are out in the room there, and then the second EP that we did, I actually switched to acoustic drums. So I rented a drum microphone set from a local music store and recorded it there. So you can hear what those things sound like, and that's what I'm going to be doing with this channel, is just helping people who are, I guess, more on the home recorder side. So if your goal is to be professional producer, recording engineer, you want to build your own studio, there's probably some better options out there for channels. But for most people who want to just kind of do this as a hobby, maybe a little side hustle, then I'm going to be doing more videos like this to help you out with that. So again, like and subscribe, leave me a comment below, and I'm going to stop talking now and see you on the next video.